What is aggregate supply in macroeconomics? Imagine a busy factory floor where workers are assembling products, raw materials are flowing in, and machines are humming along. Now, think about how much this factory can produce at different prices. That's what aggregate supply is all about. It's the total amount of goods and services that all businesses in an economy are willing and able to produce at various price levels over a certain period. In macroeconomics, which looks at the economy as a whole, aggregate supply helps us understand how much stuff the entire country can produce. It shows the relationship between the overall price level and the total output, which is often called real gross domestic product. When prices go up, businesses usually want to produce more because they can make higher profits, assuming their costs stay steady in the short term. There are three main ideas to keep in mind about aggregate supply. First is short-run aggregate supply. In the short term, some costs like wages or raw material prices stay fixed. So, if prices rise, firms respond by increasing production because they can earn more money. This makes the short-run aggregate supply curve slope upward. Next is long-run aggregate supply. Over time, all input prices and costs can change. The economy's potential output depends on the resources available, technology, and how well institutions support production. The long-run aggregate supply curve is vertical, meaning that no matter how much prices change, the economy can only produce up to its full capacity or full employment level. The third concept is medium-run aggregate supply. It's a middle ground where some input prices adjust gradually. The medium-run curve slopes upward but less steeply than the short-run one. This reflects that some wages and costs are catching up but not all at once. Various factors influence aggregate supply. These include the size and quality of the workforce, the amount of capital like machinery and buildings, advances in technology, and productivity improvements. For example, if new technology makes production faster and cheaper, the entire supply curve shifts to the right, meaning more goods can be made at every price level. On the other hand, higher costs for wages or raw materials can shift the supply curve to the left, reducing the total output. Understanding aggregate supply is key because it explains how the economy reacts to changes in demand and prices. It helps us see whether growth is driven by more resources or just higher prices. Policymakers use this knowledge to decide how to manage the economy. If supply is limited, boosting demand might cause inflation instead of more growth. In simple terms, aggregate supply is the total amount of goods and services an economy can produce at different price levels. It reflects the economy's capacity and how responsive it is to price changes. Knowing this helps us understand economic growth, inflation, and unemployment, making it a core idea in macroeconomics.